A 級が6人、B 級が3人。S 級こそいないものの、他のギルドならば、絶対2軍なんかに配置されない人たちだ。
They said like 6 A rankers, and I just stopped listening from then on because who cares about anyone below A rank, right? Am I right, boys? What a bunch of peasants. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Fonrath, and you are here once again for some more solo leveling. I must say I am quite excited for this episode. We left off last episode with Miss Cha basically catching him, Jinwoo, our protagonist, as he was trying to sneak into the boss room. Last episode I talked a little bit about how I don't really understand why Jinwoo needs to sneak in. Like, all he needs to do is just basically like wait a week and then he can just be officially joining A rank dungeons with other people, you know, like officially. I don't really see why he needs to sneak in, but whatever the reason, he ended up joining the mining team and then sneaking in and trying to sneak the boss, but got caught red-handed. Well, not red-handed, he hadn't actually done anything yet, so this could go one of two ways, where Miss Cha immediately calls him out on his bullshit and she immediately knows what's going on, or he's gonna bullshit his way out of this. Regardless, let's just get into episode 5 of Solo Leveling. Yeah.
そこで何してるんですか？もう一度聞きます。そこで何をしてるんですか？
俺としたことが、なんてことを考えているんだ。道に迷ってここまで来てしまいました。
道に迷って？採掘チームですか？ここはボス部屋です。離れてください。
チャヘイン、噂通りただものじゃない。話しかけられるまで気づけなかった。
見間違い。さっきまで武器を持ってなかった。
That's what I was gonna say. I was actually literally about to pause and say, like, didn't he like just reveal his weapon or something, right? And then in the next scene we saw that it was gone.
今ボスを刺激したら採掘チームが全員やられてしまいます。
わかりました。
待って。
I smelled his sweat. Oh my god. What are you smelling?
臭くない。
何なんですか？
あなた本当にハンターですか？
ま
あ。Huh?
EQ
Maybe you should get a new picture made.
何でもありません。
I guess news hasn't spread far enough yet.
ランクが低いからかしら。臭くなかった。
Huh?
むしろいい匂い。
I support that. I support it. I support it. At least this is not or at least I hope it's not a fucking school student, okay? Jesus Christ. I support this. As long as she's like his age, I support it. Though I'm not really sure what she's talking about when she's talking about like smelling people. She's been, you know, she's very sensitive to smells apparently, but I'm not sure what she's like. Maybe that's how she like gauges power or something.
みんな指くわえて遠くから見てることしかできないのに。あの人は俺たちをボスから守るために毎回休憩時間を返上して見回りしてくれるんです。若いのにしっかりしていますよ。
ボス部屋に。
チャーハンターは他のハンターの匂いが苦手らしいですよ。
ハンターの匂いですか？
得意体質だそうで。
俺にはハンター特有の匂いがない。確かレッドゲートでもあいつが似たようなことを言っていた。俺がプレイヤーだからなのか。システムの恩恵を受ける唯一の
Distinct smell of a hunter? The fuck is that now? Is that a new thing again? It sounds like sounds like a load of horse dung. I'm not gonna lie. First we have aura, you know. Now we have smells and scents. What? Come on. Let's you know. Let's pull it back a bit here, okay? Let's calm down here.
結局のところ何なんだ
You're Jesus, obviously. You're reincarnated Jesus. Didn't you hear that one guy in like 2 episodes ago? Like, when he went, Jesus! Yeah, I guess word has not spread around yet.
報酬は弾みます。
ああ、いや、お気持ちは嬉しいですが、空いた時間に来ただけなもんで。
そうですか。残念です。ならせめてもう一日だけ来られませんか。
もう一日
ええ。明日のレイドが A 級と C 級のダブルヘッダーなんですよ。
ハンタースは明日もレイドがあるんですかしかも A 級と C 級
はい。と言っても明日来るのは第二攻撃隊ですが。
第二攻撃隊
これがうちの強みってやつです。A 級ゲートを2部隊で攻略できるギルドなんて国内では他にありませんからね。
明日どこに行けばいいですか
Again, you would think he would like, I don't know, contact those raid teams and be like, hey, I'm a new S class. I wanna maybe like even if he's not in their guild, like he could be like, hey, I'm a new S class. Can I like kind of intern in a way, right? Can I join you guys on one of these raids? These A-class raids to not only help out but also see how you know what's going on in the A-class dungeons and these raids. Like you know, I feel like they wouldn't say no to that because you're one of 10 S-classes. You saw how everyone fucking reacted to him, right? I feel like they would be glad to be like, yeah, of course we'll let you in, of course, right? Because they want to recruit him. Of course they would let him in. Of course they would let him check things out, right? He has so much leverage with being an S-class that 100% in my opinion they would be like, yeah, of course. Like, we'll show you around. We'll show you how things are done in an A-rank dungeon, right? Like, don't worry, come on, right? 100% they would do that, in my opinion. It just makes sense. Legitimately, like, you would think he would be actively trying to join these raid groups rather than sneaking around. Like, what's the point of sneaking around at this point? Because he already revealed himself, right? Went for the reassessment and got, like, became known as an S rank. I mean, I don't see the reason why he's sneaking about.
採掘チームで働いているソン・ジヌって人のことを調べていただけませんか。
ソン・ハンターの
ご存知なんですか。
実は昨日チェ代表にも同じことを聞かれたんです。
チェ代表に。
はい。ですが現在情報が非公開になってまして。
Ah, they're holding information, huh?
でもないのに教会がロックをかけているのは初めて見ました。
So that's why information isn't spreading.
ダンジョンでの行動。チェ代表の調査指示。教会の対応。間違いなく何かある。いい匂いがしたのはあの人が初めて。
今日もすごいですね。やっぱ孫さんいると早いな。おかげで午後の A 級ダンジョンまでバッチリ休めます。
回収チームも驚いてましたよ。ソン・ギフン隊長。
採掘チームからどなたか一人お借りできませんか運搬担当が来れなくなってしまって。
うちらですか。運搬なら回収チームの方が慣れて。
それが向こうも人手不足のようで、攻撃隊と同行する分相応の危険手当も出します。
Well, obviously we know that Jinwoo is probably gonna go, but like, you know what I hope? I hope to God right now, okay, that this guy is not secretly an asshole. Because, like I said last time, every fucking high ranker is a fucking asshole for some reason, right? I just hope that he goes with them And this guy ends up being a completely normal person, like he is portraying himself here right now.
いくら手当て
He seems like a completely normal dude, right? I just hope that he doesn't end up being like, oh, secretly we asked someone from the mining group to come with us so we can sacrifice him and you know, have the boss go after him while we attack the boss from behind and essentially just have him as, you know, a lamb to be slaughtered and use him as bait. You know, I hope they're not doing some dumb shit like that.
孫さん、
無茶ですって。中には上級モンスターがいるんですよ。
命をかけるほどの金額でもないし。
大丈夫です。
ランクは E 級です。ですから他の人に。
いえ、彼でお願いします。今回攻撃隊の隊長を任された。
Why would he? Okay, there's two possible reasonings why when he heard E rank, he was like, huh, yes, right? He smiled. Two possible reasonings, okay? One, he has privileged information about an E ranker that is very strong, that kind of fits his description, so he knows who he is. Or two, which is more likely, they're doing exactly what I just said earlier, where they're intending to sacrifice someone. That's why they're asking them. And when he heard E rank, then he's like, no one's gonna miss him, right? This will be an easy slam dunk to tell people that that E rank died. Because of course he's an E rank. Obviously he's gonna die. It's very dangerous, right? I just hope that I'm wrong, but.
安心してください。危険度が高ければ2軍のうちが任されるわけありませんから。A 級が6人、B 級が3人、S 級こそいないものの、他のギルドならば絶対2軍なんかに配置されない人たちだ。では潜りましょう。ハンタースはこんな攻撃隊を2つも持っているのか。確かに流れている魔力は昨日よりも少ない。だがなぜだろう。レッドゲートと同じような不吉な予感がする。気のせいだな。
緊張しなくていいですよ。ギフン君、隊長やここにいるハンターはみんな強いので、下手に動かない限りモンスターに攻撃されることもありませんから。
ありがとうございます。代表や副代表ほどじゃなくても、俺は A 級ハンターだ。できないはずはない。
He's another A ranker. Let's hope that he's not a fucking asshole like everybody else.
何の指示もなく戦闘態勢に。来るぞ。ダンジョンジャッカルだ。普通出てこないモンスターなんですか。
ダンジョンジャッカルは C 級モンスターだから、とっくに全滅しててもおかしくないはずなのに。
首を見てください。誰かに飼われていたみたいです。殺さず猟犬として生かしてたってことか。道理で言え。
I guess they don't need as many people for A rank dungeons. There were like previously for the D rank or C rank dungeons, there was like a prerequisite of like they needed 8 people or something, or 12. I don't remember exactly, but because I was thinking like for an A rank dungeon, you would think they would need more, but there was only like, I guess they had enough people, but like they said like 6 A rankers, and I just stopped listening from then on because who cares about anyone below A rank, right? Am I right, boys? What a bunch of peasants. So now we got red ogres. I'm actually hoping that the A rankers managed to defeat them here. Because if they can't even do this, like they just entered the fucking dungeon, right? And it's an A rank dungeon. Like sure, you might say there might be surprises, but like come on. I want to actually see that this A rank team can defeat them without Jinwoo's help. Otherwise, it's like, oh, the first A rank dungeon that we go into, and they're because they went into this so confidently, with like 6 A rankers and whatever B rankers, right? They went into it so confidently, as if they've been doing A rank dungeons for a while, right? So there's no reason to say that this is special somehow, just because Jinwoo is here. And if it is special somehow, then what are the chances that Jinwoo just enters the special one every single time, pretty much? Last time he went into a dungeon, it turned into a red gate. Like, come on, right? Let's be realistic a little bit realistic here. I'm hoping that, you know, that they actually managed to defeat these guys without Jinwoo's help.
力が強すぎる。動きを封じるのも数秒が限界よ。今声を出す。我が声で目覚めし者。敵の首をはねろ。
A 級に匹敵するハイオークがこんなに。これは B 級のメンバーがどうにかできる相手じゃない。みんな知らないでくれ。
Like, come on, defeat at least some of them. You know? I really don't like the fact that they're just getting so easily beaten. If you show me they kill at least some of them, like, I mean, I suppose they've kind of done some damage, but like, still, you know? And there he is. I'm guessing he's using stealth. That's why he looks like Ray or something. Okay. You're doing some stuff? Ah.
あまり部外者の俺が出しゃばりたくないが、見過ごすわけにいかない。
I kind of wish they would have done more on their own.
バレない程度に終わらせてやろう。余計なことはすんなよ。
And the fact that they don't notice these cuts or whatever makes them seem amateurish. I hope he noticed something.
重傷者はいないか。なんとか大丈夫そうですね。全員無事なんて奇跡だな。
ねえ、戦闘中におかしなことがあって。
こっちも急に相手の動きが鈍くなったんだ。
隠密系のいないうちにそんなことできる人はいません。ただ経緯はどうあれ勝ちは勝ちです。
そうだな。運が良かったと思う。
あの荷物持ち、うちの攻撃隊をバカにしてるわね。マジックキャスターがいるのに隠密なんか使って隠れた気でいるなんて。まあでも。
Oh, so she immediately noticed. Okay, good. Honestly, I'm so fucking glad, cause we're kind of approaching that territory of like he's so blatantly assisting them that, and this is kind of what I'm saying, right? that's why I kind of wished that the A ranks would do things on their own and manage to overcome the hurdle on their own so that he wouldn't have to, you know, so blatantly help them. But he ended up needing to help them blatantly, which is exactly what happened, and I'm glad that obviously someone noticed, or multiple people even noticed, but one of them at least immediately detected the blatant help.
助けてもらったのは確かだし、理由もあるようだから見なかったことにしてあげる。
孫隊長、先に進むんですか？
初めて隊長を任されて残念なのはわかる。けど、引き返した方がいいと思う。
クリアさせたいに決まっている。だけど賢明な隊長なら。ではひとまず撤収しましょう。
これは
結界ですね。それも上位の。
来た時はなかったのに。解けるか？
時間をかければできないことは。
Barrier.
ここまでの上位魔術を使える存在がダンジョンの中にいる。引き返してよかった。やっぱりここは私たちでは攻略不可能だわ。
Like, sure, it's kind of like whatever, you know? It's kind of like whatever, bro. But this thing, right, that they, like, you could have just said, oh, it turned into a red gate, like last time. Why not? This time, it's like, well, we can't do red gates twice in a row, right? So, oh yeah, let's just do that. Like, there's a monster or a boss in the dungeon that then blocks the escape. Or blocks the portal. Like, the ultimate, the result is the same as the red gate. You might as well just use the red gate and maybe turn it into a story thing. Like, if Jinwoo goes into a dungeon, it is very likely to turn into a red gate, and maybe he starts noticing this, right? Maybe he asks around and hears that red gates are very rare, and yet he's gone into 2 dungeons now in a row, and they've both become red gates. So it's like, that's not a coincidence. There's no shot that's a coincidence, right? You could have done that. But now you're kind of like, instead of doing the red gate this time, let's have a boss that somehow creates a long distance barrier somehow.
ゾグは手伝って。
B 級ハンターまでもが察知するこの魔力の波動。なぜ外からこれを感じられなかった？
Huh?
呪い？罠か？セミ、神聖魔法。どうした？何して？
I think Jinwoo needs to step up here with his army. Huh? What is going on? What the fuck is going on? He was speaking through. Okay, so I'm glad this happened, kind of, because I did ask the question, I think, last episode, where I asked, like, have there been other monsters before that have spoken their language? Like, I guess Japanese in this case. And considering the fact that this guy isn't really surprised that they can speak their language, that most likely tells me that there have been, like, cases before where there have been intelligent monsters that have spoken their language. Good to know, good to know.
すぐさま攻撃を開始します。結果はどうあれ、奴は気を取られて結界を維持できなくなるでしょう。外に出てメイン攻撃隊に連絡してください。
まさか死にに行くんですか？
僕らの目的はダンジョンから生きて帰ることではなく、ゲートを閉じることです。
私からもお願いがあります。短いですが遺言です。私の家族に渡してください。私たちは使命を果たしに行かねばなりません。でもあなたは違います。どうか生きてここを出てください。
20ダンジョンでの俺たちみたいだ。あの時はみんな。だがこの人たちは。とりあえず預かっておきますが、そうならないことを願います。
本ジヌという方は来てないですか？
ああ、孫さんなら荷物持ちとしてさっき潜っていきましたよ。
じゃあゲートの中にいるってことですか？
Can people enter from the outside while the barrier is up? Or is it going to turn into a Stargate situation, you know? If you've seen Stargate, you know, if you haven't seen Stargate, basically, you know, the portal, the ring portal that they use to go to different planets, right? They put a barrier in front of the gate so that when people come through from the other side, or maybe not people, but also like bombs and whatever basically comes through the other side, it hits the barrier and just instantly, you know, like doesn't come through, and it's like they just die again. They get flown into the barrier, and it's like they're just dead. So like I'm thinking, if they enter from the outside, are they just gonna hit the barrier and die instantly, or get stuck in the barrier, or in the portal, I mean, or you know, what happens? Can they just not go through? Do they have to turn back? Okay. Unfortunately, the episode's gonna end. Ningen domoyo. God damn it. I want to see the next episode already. Ah, yeah. It's kind of like I said, right? It's not a red gate, which means technically it could be possible that Miss Cha can go in from the outside, right? I mean, maybe she tries and then she realizes, oh, I can't go in from the other side, or from the outside, I mean. And then they realize something's going on, some you know, some weird shit's going down. I also don't really understand why they're being called to the chief to talk. Like, what's going on? Maybe there's something more going on here. Also, like I said earlier, I really love that at least one of the people in the group like immediately noticed that he was doing his stealth shit, right? Like I love that. I definitely would have liked to have seen the A rankers do more, I'm not gonna lie. Because as far as I know, this is our first look into an A rank dungeon. It's not like they made some sort of like, you know, big whoop about them going into this dungeon understaffed or unmanned, unprepared or anything like that, right? So it's like, apparently their numbers of like 6 A rankers and some B rankers, right, was normal for an A rank dungeon, supposedly. But like the moment they came in, they walked out maybe 5 minutes and then immediately get hit with, I mean, sure, they defeated the C rank dogs pretty easily, but even they were like, oh, these are easy creatures, why are they here, right? Like, they shouldn't be here. And then immediately the next fuckers that they encountered were immediately overpowering them. It's like, bro, you haven't even gotten like 10 minutes into the dungeon and you're already being overwhelmed? Like, if an A rank dungeon is this difficult, then you would think you would need a lot more than 6 A rankers. But I guess maybe this dungeon is again special somehow, with a special boss or something, you know? I just don't like the fact that Jinwoo just happens to run into all these special dungeons by coincidence somehow. It's very, very coincidental and just kind of like, I understand that you want to make a situation with stakes, but holy shit, like, you don't need to have every dungeon become super, super dangerous. You can have one dungeon maybe where, I don't know, like he tags along, right? And then the A rankers show their teamwork and show their ability, and then they take down these guys. Like, sure, it's not easy, but like they take them down, and then they work together to go through the dungeon, right? On and on and on and on. You know, as Jinwoo maybe looks at them, he's reminded of when he was actually an E ranker, right? And he had the you know, those people that he went into the double dungeon with. He's reminded of the good old days when you know, he fought with people. He wasn't solo leveling, right? You know, he actually kind of sees what it's like to have a good team that works well and is powerful. Essentially, like it's like a good player in a competitive video game, seeing what it's like to finally be on a team with good players, right? Like, that would be cool to see. And then he goes through the dungeon with them. Maybe at some point one of the women or whatever, you know, that woman that he was talking to, this woman, right? Maybe is in a situation where she's healing someone and is about to get injured or something, and then he helps her out secretly. And then you can have the same situation where he helps her out. She obviously notices something, and then the other magician or mage or whatever also obviously noticed that Jinwoo used assassination abilities or whatever, right? And finally, it would basically just be kind of like a little storyline where things don't get super dangerous and Jinwoo doesn't need to step in all the time. Sure, it's cool when he does, but we don't need that all the time. Right? You kind of need to take a break sometimes. And I get it, we've had multiple episodes now where he hasn't done any fighting, sure. But if you're gonna have dungeons, if you're gonna have Jinwoo go into dungeons, you can't have every fucking dungeon that he goes in be some sort of super tense situation where everyone dies but him. It gets old, it gets repetitive, it gets predictable. For us, the audience. You have to do things fresh. You cannot keep doing the same thing. Which is why we go back to that moment where I was like, God, I hope that the A rankers can do things on their own. Because again, we're barely into the dungeon and already they're struggling and we're going to get wiped if Jinwoo didn't step in. And it's like, I get it. There's a massive difference between A ranks and S ranks and Jinwoo, but like, I don't know. I don't like the idea that Jinwoo, when he goes into these dungeons and, you know, these dungeons turn into very dangerous situations, tension-filled situations, that he is the only one who can put up a fight. That's what I don't like. Regardless, that was episode 5 of season 2 of Solo Leveling. Good episode. Honestly, I do think there are certain, like, weaknesses in the storytelling. Definitely certain things that just either are not explained or are way too convenient. Like this, you know, the ability to create a barrier remotely to the portal by the boss. It's like, what is this very super specific power? A lot of it seems very convenient and just, I don't know if contrived is the right word, but that's kind of the feeling it gives me. Still, I will see you guys next time in episode 6 of Solo Leveling of season 2. Goodbye for now.